What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Grand Rising. This is our February 8th AI for Breakfast live call. My name is Champ Bobbitt. This is Steve Bayonne. We're going to get into it. Today, we're covering new members orientation and some advancements going on in artificial intelligence. All right. Steve, what's going on, brother?
Everything's good. Yeah, just start out with the promotion we threw to them
Okay.
for the impact reports.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a incredible offer for everybody. So there, so you all know that artificial intelligence is impacting everybody's industry, everybody's jobs. So one way that we have a resolve for you all is to get into the AI job impact. Now, the impact report is going to give you a lot of insight into your industry, the industry as a whole, your particular job, some opportunities and things where you can upskill and position yourself to be a higher earner, right, or have more value within your company, or in the industry as a whole, or even if you wanted to switch to another industry. All right. The AI Impact is now on sale. We have a limited time offer for you guys. You guys can get $40 off of the AI Impact Report. So now it's only going to be $57, but it's limited to the completed industries only. So I'm going to drop the link for you guys so you guys can have full vantage on all of the industries that we've already created. They're already ready to go. So this is going to be, immediate deployment. So as soon as you guys pay, just give us a little bit of time. Within 24 hours, you guys will have your AI impact reports. So I'm going to drop the link for you guys. But again, it's only for specific the completed industries. So you guys will get the link. I'll drop this for you all, so you all have it. And let's get started. Let's get rocking. Let's get up to upskilled. Let's go get this bag to add more value to ourselves. All right, so I just dropped that in the chat for everybody. Let's,
What bag, man? Who's getting bags of money anymore?
shit, the Skyton students, man. They bag is well rounded. You know what I mean? That's the money bag, that's the education bag, that's all of that.
Yeah, we just got to break away from the old culture terms, man. It's like the N word.
Oh,
That's how I feel about the bag. Just, to each his own, but I think language matters moving forward.
two.
The hustling, the grinding, it's kind of working against us. What are we gonna call it now?
I
It's
don't know.
not the bag, champ. What are we calling it?
I don't know. I like the bag.
Oh, okay, I'm out the bag.
I like the bag. I like the bag. The bag a little different. United side there. We got
No,
one,
guys,
two.
you have to have a relationship with just language, guys. We have to be mindful. Um, a lot of times it's just working against us, and we don't even realize it. All right, check it. What's the comment saying?
Uh, we got one, two. So it's one person that hasn't joined, and then we got a lot of people was like, no, we leave in the bag. Somebody called it the tote.
I got a cold wallet now. I don't know what the bag just sounds heavy. Just think about it, right? If you put a lot of money in a bag, like how are you carrying that shit around?
So your shoulder still, yeah, nah, you're right.
It's heavy, right? It'll weigh on you. Then what you got to do? If something's too heavy, you got to take stuff out of it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just think about it. Just think about that. All right, guys. You know what I wanted to do today? Let's just talk about So there's been a major shift in AI in the last maybe week with DeepSeek.
Yep.
So true story. Last night we just went out to a little Asian spot and we sat at the counter, right? And the I don't know if he's the owner of the place, but he's always there, and he seems like the owner. So he was creating a new sushi right at the counter, and then he was kind of explaining to us, and he was like really enthusiastic about it because he says, "I created this in DeepSeek," and I'm like, "What?" So he went on DeepSeek and he created a new sushi item that incorporated tuna, all types of stuff, and some
Hmm.
crunch on top. So as he's explaining that DeepSeek is um is what's behind this creation, he offers us a sample of it. Right, we were the first ones to try this out. He literally just came up with the stuff, so it's going to be added to the restaurant menu. He told us the name and everything.
Nice.
Long story short, it was good, But what I want you to take out of it is how powerful this technology is in the way that people are even using it in everyday life, and we're not even aware of it. You know what I'm saying? So I found it ironic just that because we weren't initially going to sit at the counter. I said, listen, if we didn't sit at the counter, we wouldn't have had this experience right here because we were literally the last two in the restaurant as this guy is testing this thing out. So with that DeepSeek situation that came out last week, what it did show was it showed how inefficient the American model is when we're building things out, right? We tend to blow through money. We want to test every single thing. We have access to the highest level of chips made to man. So China's inability to get access to these super chips had them creating things through the I would say out of necessity, right? So they end up creating what they call DeepSeek that is allegedly cheaper and much better than, and I say allegedly because I can't confirm that, right?
Right.
Not that I don't believe it. I did follow up on who the owner is and what he's done in trading and the type of stuff that this guy's created. He's a smart individual. And I do know the power of help me with that one.
Ingenuity.
Ingenuity. Right. And the reason I say that is because a lot of my ventures have all been bootstrapped, right? So when you don't have access to capital, you have limited amount of just resources. You tend to be able to create things um, out of fucking thin air,
Yeah, absolutely.
right? So this is when in studying the DeepSeek situation, this is what I saw. They couldn't get the super chips from NVIDIA. They were locked out of certain rooms, right, of information. Um, and they just create this thing in a short amount of time with a fraction of the cost, which then had the United States wanting to be the leader in AI and innovation, right? Even crypto and blockchain.
Mhm.
They were behind two countries, and it was India and China. And I'm not going to say which or who's first or who's second, just behind both of them, right? We tend to stifle innovation in this country because of capitalism, right? We have um, there's a club that you tend to have to run your tech projects through, right? And it's kind of the normal guys that are like investing and controlling and just looking to take or extract your information.
Mhm.
So with that said, when you see that AI could be done at a fraction of the cost as an investor who was about to pump, I'm not saying myself, I'm just saying in general, billions of dollars here, billions of dollars here. Like Trump's on a he's on a raising capital frenzy right now,
Yeah.
right? Selling the world on this like tech hub. And so everything, DeepSeek put the brakes on everything with that one. Cause it's like, all right, now we have to, because we know it could be done faster and cheaper, now we have to question the guys who are in the room now. Not saying that they're incompetent, but I'm just telling you that these dudes in tech, they blow through money just because
Yeah.
they have so much access to it. That's just what tech does, right? Maybe um over analyzing, overspending, right? And I've had a venture like that where I was fully funded, and it was probably the worst one because now I'm just trying everything as opposed to keeping my eyes focused on and testing small things. You tend to
Yeah.
just throw money around loosely. So I've been guilty of that as a startup. All right.
Yeah.
So now there's this investment pool of money that's just at a freeze right now, pretty much, right? It was pulled out of the markets. I don't know if NVIDIA picked up whatever. I don't know where the market's at right now as far as what flowed back into it. I know crypto was a little bit on pause, the whole industry due to the tariffs and things like that. So what people are doing, just one, secure profits, lock down your money, just see what's happening, right? Anytime there's a new administration, especially at the beginning, the onsets of an administration, there's always a slowdown in the economy because people are just trying to figure out what this individual or this uh, administration is doing, right? And because Trump is
Mhm.
throwing a lot of things out there, it's like, oh shit, every day it's something that could affect you in a positive or the negative, right? So it's hard to really pinpoint the stuff when he's just like attacking everything. So that's where we feel like we're at a standstill in just the overall markets right now, right? So I say that to say that when you have these trillions of dollars that are on the sideline that we're going to pump into AI, I'm telling you that that money is not going to necessarily all go into AI right now. So we have to look at what the next innovations are in this current industrial revolution that we're in right now. All right. So if you guys don't already know, we're headed into what's called Web3, right? We're here now. Okay. It's hard for tech guys, especially the ones of the past, to speak intelligently about Web3 because they don't really have control over the situation. And the reason being is Web3, two keeps us in a put us in a centralized world. Three opens up the word decentralized. And that's pretty scary to a lot of guys who just come from centralized thought process, meaning I own data, I monetize data from other people. It's changing, right? And once people get wind of it, no one's going to leave money on the table. I don't think so, right? So
Yeah.
you have so we're shifting. It's the next evolution of the internet, right? So shifting from centralized platforms, which is Web 2, to more decentralized platforms, right? User owned networks. So that's going to be the future, right? We talked about the Telcoin situation. We talked about the possibilities of opening a digital bank as a collective, right? This is how you can do it. It just makes sense that way. People ran, people operated, um, always with people in mind. You're always going to have a better product when people have a voice, like a legit voice, not let me cast my vote and I did my part. Give me my sticker. Not that voice. A legit voice, right? So when you get into user-owned networks, right, it enables people to have full control over data, right? Your own data. We talked about that. Digital assets is another plus. And then online identity. This is the part that you guys have to really be careful with right now, right? Our identity online could be skewed. I've seen videos on the internet, and you couldn't tell me that this individual wasn't saying it, and then we find out that it's AI,
Yep. It's a deep fake. Yeah.
deep fake, right? So if you're new to the AI group, we do have some starter courses for you to take, just get used to the language, understand that this technology is here, and we have to lean into it, right? Either way, good, bad, or indifferent. I have to take a look at the sum total of this technology to make informed decisions on whether or not it works. For me personally, for my family, for the verticals that we're creating in the academy, there's a lot of information. There's a lot of robust information out there, and one thing I want you guys to understand is once we go down this road, 99% of these AI projects are going to die also. Right
Absolutely.
now it's just quick hits. It's a lot of monthly fees, and they might lure you in with something. Everything sounds great, but everything is a carbon copy of something else. And I feel at some point those big centralized guys are going to come out with tremendous products out the box. And one of the reasons for shifting past the not so much that we're not going to do the agency anymore, the AI agents just became a big narrative. And when Champ and I looked into it, I was just like, this changes the entire software game,
Absolutely.
right? So I could easily move forward and put a course together for you guys. But if I knew that these agents were going to affect the way that we do business, I just didn't feel like it was something that made sense for us to get into, considering how fast these agents are moving. So if you don't know what an AI agent is, we did one of our last courses was on AI agents. I want you guys to go take a look at it. If you do know what it is, in short, guys, it's a you could easily deploy this agent to do anything you want on the internet. So I'll give you an example. In planning this trip to South America, there's so many moving parts, right? You got 3 cities in 8 days. So that means there's flight to get there, land, flight to the next city, land, uh, transportation to the next city, then flight from that last city to back to the original city to then take off. So in between all that, then we have to book housing, lodging in 3 different cities, twice in one city. That's the city we're connecting in or landing in and then leaving from. So I say that to say, if I were to utilize an AI agent, I could easily gave it a prompt to say, hey, listen, I am going to set location on this date, right? My entire trip is this date. I'm going to be in this city from this date to this date. I want a flight there, um, one stop minimum. I mean maximum, right? And then from there, I want housing in this particular area for those 2 nights. And then after that, I want you to look for a connecting, no, a flight in the morning to leave from this city to that city. And then when you get over to that city, I want a 2 night lodging in this area. And you can get particular. This is what I like. I like modern, boom, boom, boom. Penthouse, ocean view, whatever the case is. This is how you're talking to the agent. Then from there, I need you to book me a ground transportation from. So one of the cities I'm flying from, there is no direct flight to the other one, and it's 3.5 hours by car. But then flight would be a connecting to then take 6 hours. So I'm like, you know what, car service. So now you tell the AI agent, hey, listen, I need car service at around this time to take me there to the next city, and then so on and so forth. Y'all get where I'm going. Once you hit the prompt, that thing goes out and it scours the internet to put together this itinerary for you. You understand? So that's going to be the biggest play in narrative in AI. The reason I know this is because I know software, right? I know API. Shit, I have a slight coding background, like slight, barely went to school for it. But I can understand how things work. And this AI agents is what's going to kill software. The software industry as we know it is dead. I'm calling it. I might be a little early on this one, but I'm telling you, the software industry as we know it is dead. So all the softwares that you use, not going to be needed. Because all you're going to really need to do is find an agent and deploy an agent to do the work on your behalf. Now, the agent is not biased. The agent doesn't work with any, you know what I mean? So when we're going to these travel sites, you do know there's a lot of connection points that we don't know about, right? It's tracking our IP address. It knows our race. It can give us predictive pricing based on our size, right?
Mhm.
Based on ethnicity. Like this is happening in the travel industry right now. So we have to find a way to protect our data because the shit ain't fair. Champ and I could literally book the same flight in the same city at the same time, and we can have two different outcomes, two different seats, two different prices. Shit, he might get water, I might not get water. Like
Right.
this is the travel industry. So that's why we kind of pump the brakes on pouring too much time into agency and focusing more on these AI agents because once you can build and deploy an AI agent, that's going to be where the that wealth could be made,
Mhm.
right? Remember, we talked about us not having really a seat at the table, right? So when you start to think about things that we only think about as a race or a culture, that's where you start to find the opportunities that these other groups may not necessarily see. And I don't care if it's talking patois, I don't care what they're doing on their end. They're just doing what they normally do. There's no sustainability in copying shit, I feel. You see what I'm saying? So we have to start to pivot and start to look towards AI agents. All right. So if you're on the crypto side, and I told Champ he had it, and I was like, yo, let's just slow up on it because the shit was happening fast. And I started to see AI agent projects on crypto were like meme coins.
Fast.
So we pumped the brakes on it. But I think it's a good time to kind of integrate it now
Yeah.
just to show them some of the projects. So at least you get from not from investment standpoint, guys. You whatever you want to do with it, you can. But if you start to look at the projects and how they're building them and what they're solving, and then the tokenomics behind it, I think you'll have a better appreciation for um, conceptually how this thing is working.
Yeah.
So yeah, next week, Champ, let's start to put together um, an AI agent course on the crypto side just to start opening those talks up. All right.
Yeah.
Another thing that we're doing too, guys, is we're going to start to provide quizzes for a lot of the products that we put out, right? Because we don't know. It's just it's a good baseline for you to you take something and just see where your knowledge is at, right? You'll be able to get graded in all things. So that's another element that we're adding to the academy now. So along with the new courses that are coming out, we're actually updating the 5-part foundation as we speak.
Right.
And you'll know if it's updated. It'll say updated next to it, and you can go back. We just made it a lot easier to kind of follow. We've simplified a lot of the terminology and gave better case use or real world examples to help drive the point home early. So quizzes are coming to a lot of the courses within the next this month at some point. We're going to start releasing those. So we do um ask that you guys take these when you finish a particular lesson if it's there. All right. Um yeah, so guys, we're right here on this Web3 situation. One of the things we're going to start focusing on is digital identity and self-sovereign ID. Okay, this is a rabbit hole I've been down. I'm looking at uh, what's that passport? What's that new digital real ID? So
Real idea.
somehow we have a fake ID. You know, even I just did my passport the other day. It just feels like a piece of technology. It doesn't feel like a passport anymore,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
I did everything but run an EMF reader on it. It just the shit just I don't know, something about it ain't right.
It just feels
So you
weird.
start looking at digital identity and self-sovereign ID. So this is something that we're dropping on the academy side to you guys this coming week. So I'm excited about that. So there is a whole blockchain based IDs that eliminate the need for passwords. All right. But you need to be in full control of this situation, not giving your biometrics to any site that just says, hey, use this to log in easy. No, it's something that you own and control, and no one else has access to the data, if that makes sense. It's important, guys. All right. Stop leaving your DNA everywhere. Users control their own data instead of the company selling it. So now they can no longer sell it because it's behind you can call it a paywall. So if you want to
Mm-hmm.
use it, you could ask me for it, but then you have to disclose what you're giving me. And I got to see if it makes sense. All right. So this is something that we're going to start positioning all our students for in the future. So the academy isn't just here for us to learn AI or um, have some cryptocurrency in our wallets and make some money. It's like, no, there's good, bad, and indifferent that comes from this technology. So part of the focus also in the first half of this year is to look at the new IDs, look at the global passport, right? The amount of countries that are signing up to it, the ones who aren't signing up to it, like figuring out how we position ourselves. You understand? Because if you don't cover those things, guys, in the future, they're gonna have access to a lot of our data, a lot of our. There's no more privacy. They can lock you up at any point. When I say lock you up, meaning your digital footprint could be locked up at any point. You understand? For anything. So that's the part that's important. And I don't think there's any other communities out here that are focusing on solutions prior to the issues happening. Now, if they never come, they never come. But if you have digital residents here, if you have residents here, right? If you have self-sovereign ID here, just think about the way that the flexibility you have to be able to move around the world. All right. Those are the things that we're going to start to talk about on the members only calls. Members only calls, not dot connect. Understand, we are going to pour more into the academy than these outside places that we tend to put a lot of information out to.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys would definitely get it first. You know, we'll drop little tidbits here. It's not like the world's listening when you post something anyway. But it is good as Champ and I like to use it as a placeholder, right? In case somebody wants to like say something, it's like, oh, you did it's all time, date, and stamp. So you
Yeah.
fuck around and find out if you want.
Yeah.
All right, so that's where we're at with this blockchain IDs, guys. This is the wave of the new future. You not only are you part of a selective group of individuals that are in cryptocurrency, right? Like forget that 90% of the world is not even invested in this, but you're also part of a group that's forward in their approach to the emerging tech, right? So you got two smart dudes who also wear tin hats, who aren't easily moved off shit, who are constantly looking for the latest and greatest to present to the community, not only for themselves, right? So this is where the value of the membership becomes more valuable, right? That's the part that you can't really put a number on just yet. right? Not until the stuff comes, you're like, oh shit, I was already prepared for it. It's invaluable. All right.
Yes.
Big time. So we talked about industrial revolution and around just history. We've touched on this before in past products, but I just wanted to kind of bring it back full circle again and just show you how all this new tech is integrating. All right. So when you had the first industrial revolution, that was 17 to 1800s, right? Over that span. Okay. That was the age of kind of machinery in a sense, right? So they had the steam engines, right? Led that factories and mass production of goods. Okay. The reason it's important to understand these shifts is because when you start to look at the next one, you can start to position yourself to know, all right, where's my place here? Okay. And if you're semi-retired or close to retiring or like, whatever, listen, there's kids in this world. So we got to figure out where their place is going to lie because they have no clue right now. All right. Um, so this is when we transition from like manual labor to machine powered industries. This was the 1700s to 1800s. So think about it. What was the one thing that transcended that push? Technology. It's the 1700s, right? Our kids, they joke all the time. They're like, back in the 1900s, what was it? I'm like, what are you talking about? The 1900s, right? They would literally think we probably went through slavery because it just sounds wild, right? The 1900s. Just think about it. All right. So we're talking about the 1700s to the 1800s. Technology was around back then.
Yeah.
The second industrial revolution is going to take us 1800s to 1900s. All right. That's the age of electricity and steel. Okay. So electricity, railroads, mass communication was formed during that time. This is the birth of like the GE guys, the birth of modern infrastructure, and expansion of global trade. The reason I'm bringing this shit up, guys, I'm telling you, like Champ, he mentioned this bag. You got to be positioned correctly. You got to know the industries that are coming way before they come, and then you got to start to build out things that are needed for that time when people are ready. One of the biggest issues with staying ahead of technology is the adoption of the masses, right? Can you sustain this shit long enough to have people catch up to the education part? That's why Champ and I have one of the most valuable pieces of companies out on the market today because it not only puts you ahead of a lot of things, it's there's an educational piece that's attached to it. So when you're showing people how to not only change their circumstances through investing in their finances, but then the personal, the professional development, and then you're giving them an outlook of how things are going to look with then building and creating opportunity for that future. Come on, man.
Unmatched.
Come
So,
on. It's early today, so I ain't gonna be all crazy today, but I'm revving up a little bit. So the third industrial revolution is going to be the 1900s to the 2000s. All right, that's called the digital age. What's Trump
go
calling it now? The golden age, right?
age, yeah.
Pay attention, guys. All right, so this is the computers, the internet, automation, mobile technology. Literally in the 1900s, we started having this stuff. I could recall cellular one cell phones, big batteries in the back, like that joint. Can't
Yeah.
fit in your pocket, just
Gotta
a little
carry
better than a payphone, a little better. This is the rise of Silicon Valley, right? Social media and e-commerce, the digital age, the third industrial revolution. Today, we have what they call the fourth industrial revolution. This is including the present and the future. All right. So this is we're coining this day and time the Web3 revolution. Okay, the Web3 revolution. That's AI, blockchain, decentralized networks, and digital ownership, guys. The data situation. There's three M's that we apply to data in the future, or well, current. Let's see if Champ gets it. He's got it now, though. What are the three M's, Champ?
minimize, monetize.
So, guys, it's important because the data is what is going to allow us to not have to like work for money, if that makes sense, right? If you position yourself correctly, you should get your fair share based on how you maintain your data. All right. You definitely want to minimize it because you don't want to give it to everybody, but then you definitely want to monetize the data because it is worth something. All right. So whether it be in exchange for a token, a coin, whatever the case, we have to have digital ownership. And that's another thing we're going to be talking about at the Academy this year is how we gain our sovereignty through ID and through digital ownership. It's just how it works. All right. So Web3 empowers users instead of corporations. This is when it gets good. All right. It removes the middleman in finance, commerce, and content creation. You can't tell me what to do. That part. It enhances security, privacy, and ownership of digital assets. You might ask, what does that mean? Listen, digital assets is not holding XRP. That's not the only digital asset. Just think about it. So we're going to start to introduce what those digital assets are, how you can invest in a multitude of different digital assets, how digital assets are going to change the way we do business, right? Things that you thought you couldn't monetize, you can monetize. Things that you thought you couldn't afford or have ownership in, you can. This is all the things that are happening right now. So when these guys are, and I'm caught up in this world of the XRP versus Bitcoin, I can't even believe I gave time to this shit. But I'm off that. Them dudes is bugging. XRP guys are bugging. Like everybody's bugging right now, right? I just want to keep this train moving with the least amount of friction. It's like, yo, throw distractions out. I'm like, why am I in a beef on Instagram over Bitcoin and XR? I don't care.
It's maximalism. That's all.
It's crazy, but as an educator, you feel like you just need to chime in, and I'm like, I'm out because them dudes is tripping. No, they really are. Unlock new economic opportunities in the digital world. So this is the focus for this year, right? Get through the foundation, get through the AI stuff. We have to look at where the opportunities lie. And then from there, we start to build out ideas, bring to concept, right? Lean on each other, and then just start developing. That is the whole premise of being in here. It's not just to invest. It could be if you want, but the IP is important, guys. Like intellectual property is like, I had Dre on here the other day. He's our insurance guy, and he has his book and he's selling it. He's like, man, I've never sold something before, right? He's a real estate investor, insurance and a whole bunch of verticals. But to have a tangible
Yeah,
or something that sells even without um you being around,
it's different.
IP is important. So I segue into the IP part because we're this day and age with AI, what we're doing is when we feed these public centralized machines, they have access to our data and our IP. So they can easily recreate whatever Champ and I have been creating now. They can do it in seconds and they can make it better if they want to. What they don't have is they don't have that real
Je ne sais quoi. That
yeah.
experience. Yeah, that knack we have, that special thing.
But no one really cares when it comes down to the masses,
Yeah.
right? Craftsmanship. No one's into the fine details and things like that. I'm not saying no one. I'm just saying there's a lower percentage of people who enjoy this part, right? They don't they don't mind sitting in front of a robot or doing whatever. We're slowly being conditioned for that. So this is where we have to be careful. So this year too, we want to shift away from the Zooms, shift away from the Google Drives, just really start to immerse ourselves in our own systems that we have autonomy over, right? Meaning it's not going to be monetized, it's not going to be duplicated in the future. So look out for some of those changes that are coming too. All right. Um, what do we have for you guys on the AI tip? Yeah, so like I said, the AI, aside from the deep seek pivoting, and that money is going to go somewhere else, and we know where that money's going for sure. We have to pivot away from the traditional agency part. We have to add an AI agent component to it. So I didn't want to introduce AI agency without what I feel is going to be the most disruptive model to come out of artificial intelligence today. So that's what I got for y'all. That's not all I got for y'all, but that's just one of the things that I have for you guys today. Do we have, okay, how many people actually did an AI impact report for themselves personally? Just drop a one in the chat. And then if you just want to, because what we didn't do is we didn't do follow-ups with you guys to know what you gained from it and then exactly where you went on your next pivot. Did you decide to leave the industry? Are you upskilling yourself for the industry? What happened after you took your AI agency report? If anybody could just raise their hand and just give us their, what they found since acquiring the report. So we got Ralph. Is that Ralph?
Yep.
We got Ralph.
What's going on, y'all?
How you doing, Ralph?
Fantastic. God bless. God bless. I got my report. As I was going through it, it kind of solidified things I was already doing based on sort of when you guys started the academy about AI, all these things, and there are some tools that I'm starting to already learning that it emphasized those tools as the next step on my journey. I'm a software engineer, by the way. I work at a healthcare company. I'm a QA analyst. That was my report. I wanted to see what's the change in the software engineer and the QA side of things. And it literally said exactly what I already kind of mapped out to start doing and then emphasize it with other things that I wanted to see. And those little links for the journals and the articles that you guys gave just solidified. So I keep going back to it. And I think there was an error in my part in my report, and then they sent me another one right away letting me know, hey, we fixed it. And it was even better than what it was before. So just wanted to chime in and let you guys know. I got more things, but I'm just chiming in right now.
I appreciate that, Ralph.
Definitely appreciate that.
Appreciate that. Yeah, guys. So there's the positioning yourself for your future based on information that you get today. Right? That's what those reports are about. It's really about making an informed decision for your tomorrow. We don't necessarily think about tomorrow all too often when you're trying to just survive today.
Whoa, run that back, bro. That's a bar.
We don't really think about our tomorrows when we're just really trying to survive for today. All right. So what that report gives you is it gives you an insight into tomorrow. Now, what you can't do is when you read something or you pick something up or you hear something, you can't unsee or unhear. You can play dumb. Ignorance is not bliss. It's what?
Dangerous.
Let's not do that. We don't have enough time for that. Right? It's the information was provided to you for a reason. Do you think you close your eyes and things are going to go away? It's not. You're going to open them and you're going to be in the same spot you were in. Because try to navigate with your eyes closed. That's what we're doing. So the report, especially if you have children or kids that are going to college, this year, next year, or even 2-3 years, you have to be able to give them this piece of information because the schools are a gateway to a system that's not preparing them for the future. You understand? This isn't the time to sit with this information for yourself, right? It's meant for everyone to have access to it. The reports are important, guys. So the discount was really for the reports that are already done. If we find that you enter a industry that hasn't been done, we're going to cancel the sale and offer you a refund. You're going to also lose the fees from Stripe. So please, you pick the exact industry from the list. You just copy it in total and you paste it, and that's it. And then you'll get the report. So we're getting people who are like not doing what we're asking them to do. That's the other thing. We have to be able to read through things, critically understand stuff. And if we don't understand it, we just need to ask a question. That's the way we're going to thrive in this new society right now. And the reason I urge the critical thinking part is because if we just taking whatever they're giving us and we just clicking accept terms and conditions, you are signing contracts that you have no clue what you're getting yourself into. All right, she's about to hit us. So go ahead, let up
Rebecca. Yeah. There she go.
Rich Rising family, how y'all doing?
Wonderful.
Keep
What's
going.
going
Good. I'm a semicolon something you said really quick, because it really hit me. You know, when you talk about survival, a lot of us are at our current plantations. Yep, I said it. Because we are doing what we needed to do in the time in order to make money and take care of our families. It's not necessarily what we wanted to do, one. Two, nor does it align with our purpose. So, with that said, I encourage all of you to order a second report that aligns with what you feel is your purpose. And if you don't know what your purpose is, it's whatever you are naturally able to do and will do and give away for free. You know what you can do good. No one has to tell you that you do that good, yet and still you get compliments all the time for doing it. You know what you want to do with ease. You know what you want to do without anyone having to ask you. And a lot of us in our culture, it is 9 times out of 10 is going to center around some type of service work, because that's the kind of people we are. That's the vibration that we operate out of, is service, giving to people, pouring into people, which is what both of you and Champ are doing, Steve. And so that's just what we do in our culture as a people. So I'm going to put the challenge out there. I already ordered 2 for me. I ordered 4, 2 for me. And then I shot 2 out to a couple of other people. So I'm going to put the challenge out there for those of you that ordered one within your current industry or job that you work at, but I want you to go and order another one that fits your purpose. Because as Steve just sat here and talked to us for the last 15, 20 minutes about how things are changing, how we'll be able to monetize our data. Well, guess what else is probably about 90% of your data is your purpose. So wrap an AI report around that and let's go. That's it. Have a great day.
No, I appreciate that.
Always a gym.
Appreciate that. Listen, so let me give you guys a fact right now, right? So I'm on the analytics, right? And I want to show you guys this because you might think I'm making this up. Let me show you the value of free.
You got it.
All right. So this right here is a progress report for the introduction to AI agents, understanding the basics, right? So what I did was I looked at it from progress to see who finished 100%, and then it's going all the way down. So you can see we got damn near 700 people in this group. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 people completed it out of damn near 700. What's that? 1%?
Yo, that's wild.
Listen, let me take their emails out, but you kind of already seen it. All right. When I go to the next page, it's going to be not started it. Right. It's 10 per page. There's 70 pages, guys. And if I'm telling you that this is the future, how are we preparing for it if we're not even taking care of business right now?
It's free.
Free. All right. So this is my question to you guys, because everybody on here is part of the group. And that means that we have 76 people on this call right now, excluding Champ and I. 74 people on this call right now, and we only have 1% out of 700 that actually took the course. And I guarantee that most of you guys didn't even take that AI agent course yet. What are we doing? Like, what are we really doing? It doesn't even take 15 minutes to get through that course. It is a foundational understanding of something that is going to be of value later. I get it, guys. Shit going on. The Super Bowl is tomorrow. I get it, guys. Right? I get it. There's a lot of pressure on our necks. The bills, everything is going up. But the only way that you can get a hold and make yourself valuable is to upskill yourself. This happened during every industrial revolution, right? People went where the opportunity and the possibilities were. That's just simple math. This is why I didn't want to create the room free, because it just doesn't give the sense of urgency, and it dilutes everything that we're doing right now. So drop a 1 in the chat if we should charge a couple dollars per month for this. And I don't care if 99% of people leave the group. I'd rather keep the 10% or the 1% that's actually active in the group, seeing the value in it. Do we need to charge for this group? Would that move people? Is the content not valuable? Do we not see the importance of artificial intelligence now and in the mid to long-term future? Like, we're not seeing any of this stuff happening in front of us? I'm asking for a friend. I look at the stats, like Champ and I actually do care. We're not just putting things out just to be putting it out. I'm like, I just want to make sure somebody's picking it up. And I'm grateful that 10 out of 700 people actually did it.
Mm-hmm. Somebody did it.
That's it. That's all that matters. Somebody did it. So if there's anybody that took that course that's on this call right now, was it valuable? That's a slim number, though.
Very.
All right, listen. So my call to action to you guys is, if you're going to be in this group and we're going to meet up on Saturdays, let's at least get through the courses so that way we can start to talk about them.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the part of quizzes and just making sure. It's one thing to get through it. It's another to like be able to answer questions and pass the tests. So that's why we're moving towards that model for people who actually do want to, really serious about the future impact of technology. I don't want to be feel like I'm talking at y'all, but this social credit system and universal basic income, this shit is this is happening. This is happening, and it's okay if that's what people are waiting for and they want people to just take care of them. I'm fine with that. You know what I'm saying? Just don't complain when it comes to the stipulations. That part I'm not cool with. Like, I don't want to hear it. But I know that we didn't build this group for that sort of mindset, right? We're here sourcing information. We're here. We want to build things with y'all. So we want to make sure that we have the right people in this decentralized thing that we're building here. I don't want the big numbers, guys. And clearly we can separate the group by analytics. Y'all seen it. That's an easy one to separate right there. I could literally send those 10 people something today. And actually, for the 10 people that did complete that, Champ, let's just do a giveaway. We'll give away a couple prizes to the top, to 3 people out of the 10. So it's a good odd for you to win. We'll give away XRP. We'll give away HBAR. Whatever. We'll give away crypto to 2 people, and then we'll pull a cold storage wallet for the next person, just for complete. And I got the snapshot, so if you try to finish it now and hit complete, it's going to be as of prior to this day and time. So don't be wild. Just do better. So anybody who finished prior to this call is going to be entered to win 3 people out of the 10. So that means that's a pretty good number. You're going to get crypto. You're going to get cold storage wallet. We've been giving them things out like nobody's business.
Absolutely.
All right, champ. So we'll randomly pick 3 people. We reach out to them. Listen, whatever the wallet address is, we're not going to go back and forth too much. We'll give you a few assets. You send us the wallet addresses, and then we'll pick from there.
And listen, I'm gonna say it like this.
Actually, you know what? They can get a free report. Also,
Matter of fact, let me add that. That's
throw that in because that's AI. So for everybody who completed that, you guys could get a free report.
I like that.
And it can be custom also. It doesn't have to be from the list.
I like that.
All right, let's just keep it AI since we're on AI for breakfast. And y'all see me chomping down. I had some legit eating breakfast with you guys this morning. That's what the call is about. So if you see me snapping, breakfast time. What you got, champ?
Nah, I was gonna say anytime that, and this is just a lesson going forward since we did change up the offering. So we will keep it AI, so it'll be a custom AI report, which is awesome. But anytime that we do a giveaway, what I need you guys to understand is anytime that you are selected, you have a limited amount of time to claim your prize and give us the information that we're requesting. If you don't give us that information, you concede and it's gonna go to somebody else. All right. In the past giveaways that we've been doing, and we'll continuously have these giveaways for different reasons. But in the past, it's been a lot of work that we've had to exert in order to give you guys the gift or the giveaway. That's unacceptable. Right. So the same way that we're giving you these courses and we want you guys to take it, you guys have to have that same energy and that same accountability when it comes to when you actually win something. Do your part. Let's get through it. Boom, you're done. And yes, in the comments, there was a couple people that was like, hey, listen, I understand accountability, but I am new. I started with the crypto side. That's great. We understand. We do know that there are a lot of new people here. We get that, right? So he's not harping on you guys. He's just telling you when something is free, people take their time. They're more lax with the approach. Like the time is now. So this information is boom, first mover's response. You need it. So get to it, get through it.
Yeah, if you're new, listen, it just is what it is, right? Everyone started new here. So I'm telling you, out of 700 people, not everybody is new. To garner 10 people.
Right.
I'm pretty good at math, guys. That one ain't really adding up. Sonia, what you got?
Glory is rising. Sonia's in the comments killing it. She getting to it, y'all. She holding y'all accountable. She ain't playing. Sonia,
Glory
what's
is
up?
rising, glory is rising.
Peace.
How's everybody doing on this wonderful Saturday?
Beautiful.
So listen, and Champ, you kind of touched on something that I was going to speak on it, but I'm going to say it anyway. So I see a lot of excuses and not a lot of accountability, right? So what would you do if this was your employer offering free courses that are directly related to your job and you don't take advantage of it? It's the same sentiment, right? Because free courses being offered by your workplace equate to some type of calculation when it comes to your yearly performance review. Because they're going to go back and say, we offered X amount of courses to you that you did not take advantage of, right? So I get it. We all are busy. We all have things going on. Understood. But that's what the planning and execution worksheet is for. Your time management. So instead of watching those TV shows and binge watching this and that on the weekends and this, that, and the third, you need to be in your studies. We understand a lot of you are new. We understand a lot of you come from Paths to Freedom. So there's a lot of studying from her group as well. Always remember, never bite off more than you can chew. But if it's important to you, you'll get it done. If it matters to you, you'll get it done. If you feel it's going to be life changing for you, you will get it done. So let's get it done. Some of the courses are 5, 6 minutes, 20 minutes. It's available on mobile. It's not the best in navigating. And Stephen Champ has said that several times. It's not the best for navigating, but it's available on mobile. So you can listen to it. We have some truck drivers out there, or we have some over-the-road drivers, or, you know, whatever your work schedule allows, right? But for free courses, what we're not going to do is send out reminders for you to take a free course. It's free. But see, when you pay more attention. And that's the difference.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate you bringing that up. Miss Valerie just said something that was kind of insightful in the comments, right? She's new, fairly new, so she's asking. She says, how do we study crypto courses and study AI courses if we need to comprehend crypto courses first? Please send advice. So, Steve, you want to take this before I answer it?
I mean, we could both answer. You got. I'll see if I add anything.
Got you. So here's one of the things that I struggle with, right? So information overload. This is like a common theme that everybody can have, so it's understandable. But the way we've laid out these courses is it's damn near impossible for it to be information overload, right? And I'm not assessing anybody's capacity. I'm just saying the way that we streamline the process, we make it super easy and beginner friendly. We have videos, we have resources, we have tools, all the things that you need, right? They're just nuggets and gems that you consistently add on to your foundation. So yes, crypto is highly important because it's one of the main focuses right now. So there's a huge sense of urgency to it. But also artificial intelligence is right there with it, right? It's all part of the new quantum financial system. It's all part of the future of finance. It's all interconnected. So it's the same thing as you learning how to make a smoothie in the same way of how to change a tire, right? They're two completely different things, but they can be done simultaneously and at the same time, right? So it's don't look at it as it's something that's partitioned. Just look at it as this is the grand sum. I need to learn this stuff, and then you take your time and you devote time. The time management worksheet is extremely important, right? Steve headed that one, right? That it's a gift that literally continues to keep giving. If you haven't done so, go ahead and knock that out. That is extremely important to do because it will show you your day on paper. If you do this properly, you can see where you have time slots where you can actually take your time and devote it into learning these things. And like Sonia said, some of these courses are 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes. They're quick and they're easy to digest. So when you have a moment, if you're not binge watching a show or whatever the case is, take that time, apply that as your learning time. And every single day, if you just continue to devote your time to this stuff in both of these industries, you'll learn it without a problem, right? And then anytime you do have questions or concerns, write in the course, type us a comment, leave us a question, give us your feedback, ask a question. If we don't answer it, somebody else will answer it, and then we'll reinforce it or advocate for it or say something against it. It's too easy. That's the soundest advice I could give. Right? Don't look at it like a task. This is just something that you have to learn, you have to do, and knock it out.
It's good work on that.
Default be used exclusively for crypto.
All right, so listen, guys. All right, so here's a different way to look at it because it's we don't know why we're in this position if we don't peel the onion back a little bit, and then we'll leave on this one, right? So when we talked about the Industrial Revolution, we're talking about a mindset and the way that you condition people in time, right? So 1800s, 1900s, the first created increased factory productivity, right? So this is humans getting to work, right? Manual labor. And then this is when this was the start of like standardized work hours. All right. Now understand, I've had a job before, so I don't want y'all to be like, oh, he's an entrepreneur. And listen, this shit is even wackier on this side. You know, you $2 an hour some days. Like a lot of days, it'd be that, if that. All right. Employers needed a structured, efficient labor force during that time to operate the machinery. All right. So now we're talking about, if we had to guess, those people had to be trained and skilled on machinery during that time, right? So if you're ever in Detroit, Michigan, I want you guys to always visit the Ford factory, right? It's a great trip. It's super knowledgeable, and for a guy who loves process, I got to see a lot of process, right? So Henry Ford was the first company that completed the 40-hour work week to improve worker efficiency. All right, so now you have to ask yourself, why am I leaving the house at 9 and coming home or just being let go at 5? Like, forget the traffic there and back. And if you work remotely, you know, great. So his goal was to boost production while reducing worker burnout, but it's 40 hours a week. All right. And at the end of the day, he just wanted to sell more cars, right? You pump out more cars, you could possibly sell more cars. All right. And then if you give people leisure time, let's say on the weekends, this is when they'll partake in driving their car. You see where the business is being built? Through somebody's mindset, right? You have the same control. Trust me, you do. So then when we go into the rise of the corporations, that's the mid like 1900s. This is when we're coming up as it's my high school year. Businesses adopted a 9-to-5 to create structure. All right, now we have to see why they created this, right? Structure repeatable workflows. You come to work, you probably do the same thing every day for the most part, right? Think about that. Somebody's paying you to do the same thing every day. So I'm just showing you the importance of where we're headed. All right. And then you have this educational system that we all came up under, right? Students mirrored the 9-to-5 schedule, right? To train students for a workforce. That's what Rockefeller and them created when they created the educational system. So when Trump's talking about dismantling that shit, bro, listen, let him just go. It's got to be wiped out. Money Mike knows he's homeschooled his children. Commendable. You know? Now you have this task-orientated worker mindset. So rather than entrepreneurs and innovators, we got a nation full of workers. It was systematically done to us. So I'm just telling you that the inability to get through these courses, the inability to just find a motivation in life, they've been kind of fucking with us for a minute. I don't have all the answers, but I'll tell you what, I ain't subscribed to that one in 30 years. And as difficult as it was, I was able to see every milestone that my children have had. I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with not being indoctrinated into a system that takes up all my time in exchange for some money. Because for the most part, that is the workforce, guys. If you found your purpose in your work, congratulations. You living. But if you living to pay some bills, you're in good company. You just might want to change the way you think. All right, see where I'm going? So how the 9-to-5 kills motivation and creativity. All right. The 9-to-5 was set up for repetition. Do we do anything the same every day, champ?
Hell no.
Right. So repetition, not innovation. Because those guys that innovate, they get to be free flowing, right? They get to have their own time, and it's not easy on either end. So I'm not telling everybody needs to be an innovator. Most 9-to-5 jobs focus on routine tasks. all right, rather than problem solving and creativity. All right. So it took creativity to put those courses together on our end because we had to identify a problem and then we had to deliver a solution for what we feel is the problem. And it's this lack of education. Same thing, lack of time. What was the first thing that we gave you guys? Time management worksheet.
Yep.
You have to keep doing it on a monthly basis. You don't just do it once. You got to tool it up weekly. Have an assessment on what you're really doing throughout the day. And then if it's important, find ways to then take something off your plate and then put something back on your plate that's going to be fruitful for tomorrow. Limited personal freedom. People spend more of their productive work hours leaving little bit of time, right, and energy for personal growth, passion projects, and side businesses. That's what the system is designed for, guys. You train people for dependency. We have an issue with codependency. You know, there's a lot of healing in this that needs to be done before you think that you could amass all of this crypto wealth and then just have it all figured out. Yeah, right. We're just gonna bring over things that don't serve us into this new world that we think is gonna be everything's gonna be fine once we solve all our financial problems. No, it's not. It doesn't work like that. We work to survive and not to thrive. Hell, thought I was gonna do a sermon this morning. Jesus. Paychecks will cover your bills, but it won't create wealth. All right. Keeping people trapped in a cycle of dependency. Let that sink in. There's no real financial incentive. Let's think about that. When you think of a 9 to 5, it's they put their worth and value on what your time is. Okay. 9 to 5 employees will trade time for money. I'm just speaking for myself. When I create these businesses, I don't have a number in mind. Like even Champ, he be asking like, yo, what's that number? And I'm like, I don't do it. I don't.
Yeah.
Once you submit to that, you submit to your worth and your value. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have a number and projections for your business. I'm talking about for me, like my personal number is, listen, I'm trying to live with 0 and be happy.
He means that genuinely. He doesn't have that number.
He be poking me a lot with that. Not a lot, but once in a while, he's like, yo, what? And I'm like, nah. Because when I did have that number, it had me focusing on something that was, one, that was not real. And then 2, what's the second question is, what are you going to do with the number?
Right.
That's what's most important to me. So I don't identify by a role, a job, a number. No, I'm a multitude of things, and I can't simplify it to $1 billion.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I say $1 billion. Okay, now what? You're gonna work to get that?
It's a lot.
Just came on here for breakfast and AI, man. That system has conditioned us to avoid change. You find yourself stuck at a job that you don't like. What do you tell yourself? I don't feel like moving, or it's too much to get another job, and right? That's the conditioning part. You don't even realize that that's what that job is doing to you. Workers become so accustomed to routines that stepping outside of the system feels risky, right? Some fear in there, even if you hate your job.
Yeah.
That's what I felt y'all needed delivered on a Saturday morning.
Food for thought.
If
AI.
it lands, it lands. If we had a tip box, I would ask for tips because I need a haircut today.
Yo, you've been delivering, man. I got it, man. Just send it in crypto, man. All I need is the give me your XRP address. Let it fly.
I'm okay for today, guys. I got the haircut covered today, but soon I will need something. Really, all I need y'all to do is just get through them courses.
That's it.
That's it. I want to be able to get on the analytics and see 40% of people that are in this group are like super active. I'm telling you, we're going to start to trim. We're going to start to cut the fat out. We're going to start to move to another group of implementers, and you will only be invited into that group. Like personally invited. Some of y'all are already there. So if you're new, what we're forming is a future hub, right, for all things possible. That's what the academy is about. But in order to add to the community, you have to kind of know what's happening out here, right? We don't want to carry people. We want the group to be strong and everyone, each one teach one. One hand washes the other, both wash the face. AI for breakfast. Take us out.
Listen, with that being said, that's the mic drop moment. We appreciate you guys. This has been your AI for Breakfast, February 8th, 2025. Greatly appreciate you guys. The replay will be up shortly. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Get through those courses. All right. And don't forget, invest in yourself first and understand that these tools are extremely necessary. The AI Job Impact Report for a limited time only is $40 off. It's only $57 limited to completed industries. We have the list of those available. We have the website available for you guys, and it'll also be linked below in the description. All right. So appreciate you guys. Happy investing. Peace.